Hello, viewers. Welcome to the Impromptu show here on Zimbabwe Daily. Our show you know always love. So today I'm joined by my two guests, Tina and Yvonne. And Yvonne, she's the author of a book called Salt and Pepper, which talks about marriages. So we are
Yeah.
blessed to have you here, Yvonne.
Thank you. It's also good to be on the panel as a guest. So yeah,
Yeah, it's
I'm
a bit different,
excited.
is it? Yeah. Thank you. And today.
Hello, viewers. I hope you miss me.
Okay, viewers. So our topic for today on Impromptu Show is part two of our conversation we did last week. So it says, "Can you forgive your cheating partner?" I don't know. You are there. You are watching. And Mem Chaka, she's here. I think she's an author about marriages, and then she can tell us more about it.
She knows better.
She knows better. Is
And
it?
I'm just passionate about marriage as an institution because partly because I believe that the family institution is the primary socialization agent of any society. So if we get it right on the foundations, we'll get it right everywhere. When the foundations are broken, what can the righteous do? So that's why I was intrigued by your topic. And I thought, young people, do you know what you're talking about? You're
So
talking
that's why
of
we need you on this
cheating.
platform today, so
Yeah.
that you can explain to us and give us a highlight of what you really understand about marriages.
Marriage. All right. I think the biggest challenge that we're facing in this generation is because everything, like, we are like a popcorn generation.
Putika,
Mangai,
putika.
mangai takes long. We want faster, everything, microwave, how people describe us. And it has taken a toll on marriage. I think in Africa, we remain somehow solidly behind the whole institution of marriage, which is dying in other in other provinces, in other continents. But we thank God that we still have that close knit African ties that make us view marriage with an eye respect at that
Respect,
institution.
that's
But also there have been challenges that have arisen, and the challenges of infidelity, especially in marriages, that have broken down a lot of families, a lot of people. It has caused bitterness in women, especially women. I know men can take drastic actions. They can kill someone if they are to find out that their wives are, even the Bible talks about that elaborately in Proverbs chapter 5 and chapter 6. You realize that um, the Bible says that you will pay dearly if you are caught, by somebody's husband. And that's ndozviri kutyisa mazuva ano because vari kuchiita manje havasi kuchiita nevakomana oro nevasikana, vari kuchiita nana mai muchaka nana baba muchaka. So you then realize kuti ko chichanetsa, chichiri kunetsa. Okay, fine, you may have a problem with me, your wife, but why are you cheating with me with the Mrs. somebody? But this is what's happening in society. And now you ask the question, can you forgive a
That's
cheating
where you want.
spouse?
That's where you want to go. Because this is pachikaucha chedu, it's a taboo kunzi mukadzi aura.
Yeah.
And then kuvarume wakanzi murume aura, it's easier kunzi haaregererwe nemukadzi. So we want to explain. You uchiri murudo, I believe you are married. Can you give
Ichiri
us
murudo, but now I have an insight of a marriage. Thank you very much, my sister. I now want to enter one. It really is a taboo. Kana mukadzi akachita. But when men cheat, zvinonzi varume ndozvavari. Zvakabvira kudhara zviriko. Why do you say so? Why muchida kuti kungotitsikirira every time?
Besides, it's the patriarchal nature of our society. That's how it is. So the men can easily get away with so many things, right? And in kuti, we've heard kuti vakadzi vakawandisa kudarika varume. So what's going to happen and stuff like that? But that's just an excuse that we give, in marriage journeys. Remember when you are dating. Yeah, the young ones, when you're dating, it's fun, it's nice because the other person is far from you. And when we meet, you always put up the best, foot forward. You bath, you dress up, you show up, in your best dress. You look at yourself in the mirror, you change 5 times before you eventually leave home. So this is the image that we have when we are dating, in the dating life. And we are so enthralled by that image. You could, no, this guy is doing the most. If you can buy me Nando's or whatever,
me out.
pizza, mambos, you can take me out. We go to these exquisite places. For me, I feel like, okay, this guy is capable of taking care of my needs as a woman and is able to take care of us even if we come together. And it's nice, just having someone that you meet for like 3 hours and you're gone. It's amazing. I remember my husband and I, we used to do like all night. Tichitara phone.
So coming back to our question today, Uchitora namchaka all night for phone.
I'm going there. It's
you're
exciting. The emotions are exciting. So if somebody like that says, will you marry me? Your first response is yes. And it's exciting. And munhu anditotadza kurara ndichimufunga. Then I have to spend my eternity with him. That's amazing. And it's a beautiful feeling. We can't take that away. But reality strikes the moment you enter into family. Maakunzi amai na baba. You are now husband and wife.
You're now one.
Reality strikes. My mshaka wakes up at 10 o'clock. And she goes around everywhere in her pajamas. Yeah, she doesn't have makeup. Mapundesa, arnatsooneka. The wigs are no longer there. That you used to see. Now it's my mabanzi, and I'm going around, and I'm thinking maybe I like to eat too much. I wake up at 12. No, this woman, this man, anomungana at 12. Toothbrush, toothpaste, for some people it's so annoying. It's irritating. It's one of those things that it can put you off easily.
Zvinoitika
kana tapinda we easily
no, he's not the one.
No, you don't see that he's not the one.
Malume is dangerous now.
Exactly. Now that is another issue. Like, we've got expectations. We expect the best food to always present itself, but that is not the reality. You're going to have bills, you're going to have issues, you're going to have a troublesome pregnancy, you're going to have relatives. There's a lot of things that just happen within marriages. Listen, Brian, so many issues that happen within marriages
I understand.
that can easily make you look elsewhere.
Okay.
So you see this hunk, wabuda shakoma imchaka, say, hey.
Dude,
And also sometimes what happens is as we go, sometimes nyaya dzinesa dzichipera ka paipe taita nyaya sterek boss atiri kure, and but dzita dzichipera pakupera kwenyaya kwaya, and you don't munhu akagara akabata foni yake ari apa ari kuita zvaari kuita, uyu akagarawo akabatawo foni yake arita zvaari kuita, andoona manje. Or there are other things that we tend to forget to just talk to one another. So when that happens and I come to work and I connect na Brian, who loves to talk and is sharing my issues with me, there's a tendency of growing closer to the person that I talk to the most. You understand? Which is why we encourage people to talk. So that is when the issues begin. When you begin to talk to somebody else who is not not just attracting the negative in you, just start attracting. And then you realize that Tendai seems to be nice, and you now enjoy talking more with Tendai. And what happens next, a kiss may just be blown. A dance may just take place. Zatotanga, it's the small things. And when I write in my book, I also talk about my couples are not stima Christo. You see, because that's the thing. When we get married, Brian is not the center. God is. When I got married, Archie is not the center.
God is the center
God
of the
is the
marriage.
center. He's at the center of it all.
Mm.
So when I do, you understand that Archie is a man. He will falter. Yvonne is man. Okay, man by virtue of being a person, you falter, and it. But what keeps you stable in any marriage is who is at the center. So what happens to people who then commit crimes of passion? Ndamusvikira or haasi kunditaridza message patone message yandaona pafoni that message is not normal unongosina kutoiverenga but maybe ndangokona uchiverenga ukatosekerera ndinokudira mafuta because you are my center. You understand? You mean that much to me. So because you mean that much to me, ndoda kuti
So you say you don't forgive?
I forgive.
Yes,
Surprisingly.
Surprisingly.
Vanozoregerera after vamwaya mafuta.
Right. That now, that's why I'm saying who is at your center will determine the course of action that you take when a spouse cheats. Who is at the center? If it's God at the center, you know that you're not, everything that's happening does not determine or does not define who you are. And you are able to breathe before you take any action. But chakakosha in anything in society or what, even in marriage, let's talk about it. Man, you can't say sorry to me for cheating. You say sorry again for cheating. You say sorry for cheating. They may be different girls, but it's the same thing. Uchingowa.
Kosei Satan uyu asingambokutera kuti chimbonoba. Anongokutera pamadrezi chete. Chimbonoba ukatiziya chaiwa Satan ari kutsoma.
What's your take? Will you forgive your boyfriend after cheating?
Pakaoma. But at some point you have to. But we all know forgiving is easy. But forgetting, no.
Okay, you can forgive, but
yes.
Forgetting you won't forget about it.
I won't forget because every time he's online, by the way. Ani 5 days asinomboya uzondiona ari kunoonani ndiri kungofungira because iwewo wakambochita before saka zvinonetsa zvinotonetsa.
I think if you're
watching,
so if you are watching us live right now, please drop your comment on the comment section and keep the conversation going. Want to hear the other side of the story? We've got some comments coming here through. So I did, but the members aren't you. And so I think you keep the comments coming. Mamshi, you're talking, Ma'am Chaka. What are you saying?
You can forget, but you cannot. You can forgive, but you cannot forget. I hear you, Tendai, and I think it's true to a certain extent. But it's for your own mental health zvakatokosha kuti uite forget nekuti ukaramba uchizvitenderedza mupfungwa dzako iwewo ndionoita stress, ndionoita bp, ndionoita hypertension. So zvakakosha kuti unzwisise kuti, like I said, who is at your center? Man, munhu anokukanganisira, tiri vanhu tinokanganisa. And somebody cheating, it's not a cheap thing, but we've seen it happen. We have seen women who have husband and nevana 5 musango, but they're still together. What is it that causes them to do that? Maybe it comes back to then say, why do you want to be with your man? Pack your bags and go, you know, or I will just pack my bags and go and digarire vana. Which is another thing, and all those dimensions that happen in
talking
in
about
marriages
there's
like
a
that.
comment which is here, and so one day you test HIV positive because of forgiving a cheating partner, and so one day you test positive.
That's what the word says, yeah. Even in men, it's not just in women, but on conditions of infidelity, you can step aside. But then again, that's what I'm saying, Kuti. Maybe forgiveness, it has to happen at whatever level. We are called to, if you're a Christian like me, you know, Kuti, you're called to forgive 7 times, 77 times. And that's not cheap. and forgiveness is not an easy act. It's a process that it takes place, and it takes place by centering yourself, by understanding who you are. Because sometimes the reason why we don't forgive, we feel like we are party, we are guilty of an action he espouse. If you cheat my guy, it's on you, not on me. Andigeze saka wanotsvaga anogeza. Excuse me, why didn't you bath me?
But me ndio nikiro say
Yes.
Yo, pay for me to get to go for a spa. If you feel I'm not smart enough, something is wrong with you.
Yeah, I think on the other part, I think I've seen to Arumi, they are lacking some of the time.
And I'm your wife, yes. But kutone manicure inotobhadharirwa manicure iyoyo. Inini priority yangu as a mother is to make sure kuti mumba mune chikafu chiri kuenderana nevanhu varimo. When it's time for them to eat at any given time, they've got good food. If your preoccupation is how smart I'm looking, then make sure kuti at the end of the month budget yako ine my head, ine my nails, ine my spa. Yeah, there's time for me to do that. But if you don't make time to also realize kuti just being a housewife, for example, being a mother is a job on its own, and it takes a toll on any woman. Sometimes you just let yourself go because you are thinking your children, they need this. Your focus and your is my husband looking okay as he's going out? Are my kids looking okay as they are going out? I'm the last person to look at me. And when I look at me and I see, okay, my face is okay, I've got a weave, that's okay, I'm fine. So when they say it becomes secondary, you ask some of these well-dressed women around, they'll tell you, if you see me with an expensive dress in my wardrobe, it's my husband. Because for us, when I walk in and I see a $75 dress, I'm thinking, okay, a dress at 45, ndoisawo anashe na anenishemu that same budget. That's how we think. We think family, we don't think individualistic. Whilst it's okay for a woman, we need to take a time out, ladies. It's important. Go and get your hair done. Go and get your nails done. Go and get into a spa. Massage for your own mental health. But the thing is, kana tapina marriage, our focus is our family first. Then spouse unochita na slay queen ari kunzoko. Be careful of those slay queens, because vana vedu mazuvano, Tendai, I love you so much. Vana vedu vakutyisa, especially vanoda zvekuchena, vanoda kufamba nema iPhone asina kushandira. It's very, very dangerous because they are sleeping around with every man that can
provide anything,
that can provide something. Kana blessa wako anofanira kunge akatosimba homwe. You understand? And inini ndiri kumba, I'm expecting that my husband is gone out to work, he's going to come back, and you are busy running around nemasleep. Unotinzira zvirwere.
Yeah, there's a comment that around the zvirwere zvirwana and people hanzi mjolo kunetsa. Mjolo hanzi kunetsa. So Tina, just give us your take as well on this.
Well, my sister said, if you're a Christian, you have to forgive. My sister. Yes, I'm a Christian, but at the same time, I'm a human being.
Of course, yes.
Saka andizive kuti ndinokwanisa kutoregerera zvekudaro here. Even that process yamataure inotinetsi. Inonetsi.
The other thing, Brian, is if you can't, forgive and stay with the person, move away.
Exactly.
But the moment when you forgive and stay with that person,
for me, I think it's
best. You're cheating on me. So when it comes to that time, you can't forgive, even forgive a mom. As it should, rather just
sure, because kutoregerera munhu atombochita hake zvinotinetsi apanonetsi.
So Ma'am Chaka, tell us a little bit about your book. I think our viewers will want to know. This is the book Salt and Pepper, which was written by the authors Impromptu Chaka, our sister. She's here. The copy is just going for $10. So you can just
Only 10 bucks,
inbox us. We
viewers.
can give you.
Do you know,
this book.
actually, what's happening is as schools are opening next week, I want to sell 10 copies of this
Okay.
so that I can pay school fees for this child.
Oh, that's a good issue.
You know, she says with the mom, the child has got a sibling who's got cerebral palsy, and unfortunately for the boy, the 16-year-old boy, he doesn't even have a wheelchair. So we're actually trying to also raise some money so that we can get a wheelchair for the boy, because now the mom is struggling. So this child was not going to school, and he's 7 years old. He was not going to school because the mom could not afford. So in partnership with Royal Preschool, Royal Junior School, they identified this child, and we're trying to help pay fees. So I'm just selling 10 copies. 10
So for those who are
6
watching
copies
right-
of this
right
for just
now,
$10, so that
please.
we're able to keep this child in school and at least take care of that. But this book, it's maybe you can just read the summary at the back.
The scriptural model of marriage is often posed apart from the obtaining reality for many couples, including Christian marriages. Ani muri kuzvinzwa maKristu tikunzwei muchizoita zvirizvi. It is no secret that marriage presents a
Chingezi. Chirungu.
Let the-
Marriage presents a myriad of experiences, both good and bad. Hence the title Salt and Pepper. But salt and pepper are applied to the same dish to enhance taste. Yvonne Muchaka explores their struggles experienced in marriage and shares insights into how marital experiences can be used to enhance the flavor of a marital union. Salt and Pepper challenges both parties involved in the marriage institution to put an effort beyond one's capacity. For indeed, marriage is like salt and pepper. On its own, each is good, but put together, the seasoning is top notch. So basically,
Wow.
so like I was saying, we all want to get married. You know, people say marriage is not an achievement. Wait till you're not married. If you're not married, you want that marriage so much.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
zakakosha. It's a good thing. If you don't want to get married, it's still fine. The Bible says if you'd rather not be married, it's okay. But if you want to get married, it's a good thing. And marriage is a good institution. It has people who don't know how to handle situations, right? So we just need to know how to handle our situations. We need to know how to play our cards. It's not a bed of roses every day. It's not fun every day. It's not honeymoon every day. No, you're
up
going
and
to
downs.
you're going to have problems. You're going to have challenges. The question is, how do you navigate them? The question is, when you are in it, are you there to enhance one another or to destroy? One thing that I know is, Brian, with your wife, you are not enemies, and you are not competing.
We are
No.
the best friends ever.
You see, and you're supposed to compliment, right?
Yeah,
You're-
the communication part of it has to be on top notch.
and sometimes when you love someone, you may fail to communicate properly, right? The danger
might be
comes
when-
when I think that whatever Archie is doing, he wants me to suffer, or he wants me to struggle. But when you realize that everything that he's doing, he loves me. He may fail to communicate it right, but he
But-
loves me.
Exactly,
It
that's
takes away, all the bad air that could be around, and it helps us to build. Infidelity is not a good thing in marriage. Pakaita problem, guys, taurana. Talk about the
Nyanga
issue.
taura-
Kunyararaka. That's the best. That's the worst
Worst
kind
thing, yeah.
of
You don't have to
thing
keep
that you
quiet,
can
yeah.
do. Kunyara zi. Kochichanetsa.
Zi?
Sha kana munhu asiri kugona kutsvaira mumba chingomudza kuti hausi kutsvaira mumba
Kana usiri
zvinondifadza.
kugona kugeza,
Maybe.
kugeza, so-
Wotonditengera bubble bath. Usangondigeza unichindigeza nechimugondia. No, buy me the thing, because do you know kuti the whole art of bathing is not necessarily in what you do when you get into the bathroom. And iwe vana
Sometimes
Esther, they had to go through a boot camp for them to just model for 3 seconds in front of the king to either gain favor or to be dismissed. So it's a whole process. Munhu haungotange nekungotsvukirira ganda ndopaunoona
apply to my something
zvimasalt zvimachichi
but no, the problem ndakazoona kwarume they can't buy those things kwavakadzi vavo, but they prefer to go and buy a slay queen.
Exactly, because there's slay queen. The thing is, people, they are not afraid to ask for those luxuries. They are
amudi kubvunza kana takada kutengere pamwe but aiwa zvinodhura madii mati titengere
aiwa zvinotodhura my dear. Even if you are buying it for a slay queen, you feel it in your pocket kuti hey
but makada kutenga kumba zozanzi zve expensive
no ukaenda neni kushopu
chiri expensive because ndikuziva kuti mwana haana school shoe saka ndotoona chiri expensive at that moment, but handisi kuti kachiregedza kunditengerawo ndotoidawo usati skin iyoyo ndotoidawo kutofamba ndichinoirirawo zviri kuita slay queen vako.
I hear you.
So those simple things, unoziva kuti chinhu chinokwezva varume, there are these small and simple things, and we tell ourselves kuti nenziyo dzaitoimbwa chichi varume ipwere watoti atidi zvekujaidzana guys, grow up, hakuna pwere nendepo.
I think men are very hearing men Chaka is saying right now anza hakuna pwere dzinendevu itese vanhu vakuru.
Iwo ungatonorora munhu womuisa kumba wotobuda unonotaga why were you putting all that effort? Aiwa ndaitengerwa namudhara wangu. Now it's your turn. Why do you want me to change? That's another challenge. I think my dad, when he spoke on our wedding, he said now makupinda mu real life kana maimboita zvinhu zvepretense during your walk maipretenda, now makunoona the real Yvonne, makunoona the real Aje, which is key and fundamental in everything that we do. Are you putting your best foot forward yacho? Is it you? Is it representative of you? Kana kuti uri kungoita put up appearances yekungopretenda. Kuna na baba uri kuchengeta vana vasiri vavo. And that is a very serious case. But inyaya yekuti inini ndakagona kukukwezva and I knew what to do with my body language kuitira kuti iwewe ukaske wandirora, and yet I know kuti I'm actually pregnant for John. Vana baba uri kuchengeta vana vasiri vavo, and that is really painful. And we ask, can we forgive such a spouse? You can. And sometimes you want to forgive them and to keep them very far away for your own personal sanity. Vana, yes, fatherhood is the role that you play, not necessarily did you plant the egg. But if you can, kana Mwari vakupa the ability to give birth to a biological child. Asiso chinhu chakanaka chekuti anga ari nemudzimai wako mumba mamakagara. Chinhu chakanaka, chinhu chakakosha. So we need to really I don't know the kind of training that we need to give our boys now, our girls now, because we train the girls to be wise, but we've never really trained the boys to be men, to be husbands. We've never done that. And I think the moment we start doing that, we begin to groom a generation of men who is able to say no to temptation, who is able to, Anita unge Joseph akutiza miedzo. Yeah.
I think the family fathers must say, let's train our boys to be men, to be loving husbands. Let's train our kids to be wives and loving wives. And then to come into our parting shots, what can you say as we are rounding off the show?
My sister, vati kana tatadzirana we should talk atifane kunyararirana. But sometimes munhu kutonyarara, I think anenge achitombotraya kundiprotecta kuti zvimwe zvacho ndakamuudza mukadzi wangu izvi anorwadziwa zvisingaiti. Saka sometimes anogona achitoti to protect yega ndimbonyarara kana ndazogena confidence dzekuzotaura ndisiri muchiki, ndisiri kupopota, then I'll tell you.
Okay. And then your parting wisdom.
Zvakakosha kusanangura manzwi ako when you are speaking, and it's important to keep quiet, but your quietness has got a time limit. You can't keep quiet ad infinitum. No, talk at a time. Fema but wotaura zvakakosha kuti undirwadzisa uchindodza chokwadi pane undinyararira indofunga kuti pamwe zvaita tagadzirisana apa iwewo utori nezibundu roramba unoita stroke my dear husband takagara mumba unoita stroke my dear wife takagara mumba. Let's talk. Let's allow ourselves moments to just open up. I love it sometimes at our house. My kids will just come and say, Mama, when you're talking to me, Anasha, it's for me. We laugh during those moments, but when it's happening, zvitori serious ka. But so when we laugh, we are able to then say, sorry, mwanangu, but you know what that also does? It gives them the assurance that, you know what, mommy loves us. She may shout, but she loves us dearly. So it's the same thing. Murume wangu popota. Of course, dzora mashoko ako. Usazotaura mamwe. Don't go deep. Usadipise. But let's help one another. Marriage is an institution of growth. You don't get in there une a perfect being. That's one thing. You get there une a role you've won, a role archie, and we help each other to build the kind of person. So now I know to a certain degree how to act around my husband because I know this husband in his certain way. He also knows how to bring about issues around me. He knows ukaenda direct nenzira gonna share buy in, but if I go with it this way, wanna buy in. Yeah. Marriage is a beautiful institution. People are beautiful individuals. The next question is, can we be beautiful together? Yes. And when we are beautiful together, we can overcome any storm. Infidelity issues, guys, let's try by all means, because infidelity is betrayal. It betrays your love, it betrays your commitment, it betrays your vows, it betrays a whole lot of things. But at the end of the day, kana munhu ask all for forgiveness and akataridzawo kuti reform and let's forgive each other and let's rebuild. It's very, very possible kutoti munotozonatsodanana zvekutodaro zvekuti people will be like couple goals kind of thing. It's very, very possible.
I think our listeners are listening to you. Okay.
Above all, guys, don't cheat because inotozonias and it breaks. Cheating breaks. It doesn't break only me, your spouse, but the whole family. So don't cheat.
Yeah. Divorce my divorce cases, children are committing suicide because they don't know how to deal and handle a situation where mama goes this way, daddy goes that way. They are being abused on a daily basis. Why? Because maybe stepdad afunga uti kamwana akakato rape. So we've got a lot of cases that then arise out of vana fizi chaiche munhu anenge achiramba kubhadhara maintenance yevana vake chaicho atanga kukwesina nemwana untonoti akafanana nadhedhe acho asi dhedhe acho anenge achibvunza kuti mwana ngewangu here saka kuda kuti atawani nemhino iyoiya wakapa mwana.
I think the men out there are listening to
this.
So I think we want to round off this show. I want to thank you, Ms. Mchaka, for coming through as a
guest. Talk a lot.
And this is nice. At least your words are so wisdom. And then thank you today for coming to the show today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, listeners and viewers who are watching us live here on Zimbabwe Daily. I think Mazins Wira and the same percent of my marriages and my relationships. Out of the Mrona Zoquita, cheating Panapasina. I saw a cheat call, knows how to respond. So I want to thank you for watching, but remember to register to vote. Yes. Voting is register to vote. 2023 elections, you have to vote.
Iva vasingadi kuregister kuvote ndivo vanochita.
As vasingadi register kuvote ndivo vanochita. So guys, there's a blitz going on right now. Kana usina passport, usina chitupa, usina birth, go to your nearest stations ariko.
Yeah,
you can get your birth, you can get your ID, and you go and register to vote. Tune tomorrow. Thank you for watching Zimbabwe Daily, the Impromptu show. Bye bye. Ciao. Good night.
Bye.